Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have any idea what time it is? It's time for We Gotta Talk, damn it. All right. Hello and welcome to We Gotta Talk, damn it, a podcast where common sense and logic rule. I am your host, Freddy Mak, attack. You can call me Freddy Mak. You can call me Freddy, but just don't call me late to dinner because I love eating. And I like eating on time. Hello, TikTok roll, all of you who are joining. Sorry for the slurred speech, but I just got my Invisalign. Going to have some work done on my teeth in the next couple years, so it makes me slur a little bit, but that's why. But I do have a stutter. I was born with it. That's the way it is. And that's why I get frustrated every time somebody makes fun of Joe Biden, because it's a tough thing to deal with because you do get made fun of. I digress. So anyway, welcome to We Gotta Talk, damn it. Of course, it's a podcast, real simple, where common sense and logic rule. So I like to dissect things, and it's not black and white always with Freddy Mak. So before we get started on the next topic, which is going to be the Kyle Shittenhouse story, and that's his new name, Shittenhouse. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank everybody for subscribing. If you want to be a guest on We Gotta Talk, damn it, please, if I slip and say the Freddy Mak Show, I apologize. That's the old show. It's now called We Gotta Talk, damn it, so forgive me because I'm kind of still in that mode, I guess. The Freddy Mak Show was all about getting Joe Biden elected. It was a grassroots podcast for Joe Biden, and it went great. It went fantastic. But the original show was called We Gotta Talk, damn it, and now we're back to We Gotta Talk, damn it. So if I say the Freddy Mak Show and slip, forgive me. But thank you all for listening. Simply Google We Gotta Talk, damn it. YouTube channel will pop up. Your favorite podcast platform, whatever it might be. If you want to listen on Spotify or iTunes, We Gotta Talk, damn it, is on there. And it's GOTTA, by the way. We Gotta Talk, damn it. Not We Got to Talk, damn it, but We Gotta Talk, damn it. Right? TikTok? Listen, subscribe, and let me know what you think. I mean, there's no question that I'm always right. But if you think I'm wrong, let's have at it. If you want to be a guest on the show, send me an email at freddy@wegottotalkdammit.com. That's FREDDY, freddy@wegottotalkdammit.com. And if you want to come on the show to elaborate on some topics that I've done, or if you want to tell me that I'm wrong or I'm right, or whatever you want to talk about, you want to pick a topic, you got a cause, you got a charity, you got a product you want to promote, absolutely free. You got a business you want to promote, absolutely free. Now, that's very limited time, and it's that special goes until when I say it's done, because it's my show. Okay. All right. So let's get to what has happened this week with Kyle Shittenhouse. So I have a really different perspective on why Shittenhouse got acquitted. And I don't think it had anything to do with the prosecution doing a poor job. I don't think it had anything to do with the defense doing a fantastic job. And even though the judge was not impartial, I don't think it had anything to do with the judge. We can blame all those three all we want, but it comes down to one thing and one thing only, and we're going to get to it in a second, okay? But I don't think it had anything to do with the judge, prosecution, or defense. See, there goes that slur because of the Invisalign, so I apologize for that. It's hard to sometimes, especially with me, because I talk fast sometimes, and my brain is moving faster than my mouth, I guess, or vice versa. Yeah. So sometimes okay. Anyway, I digress. Okay. So let's talk about Shittenhouse. First of all, I want to talk about this phrase that everyone's, whenever they go to a BLM protest, they're always looking at, I've been to one, okay? And all I see out there are signs that say, all lives matter, support the blue, all lives matter, support the blue. Okay, if all lives matter, this is what you say to your friend. Okay, if you have one of those. If all lives matter, then you will admit that Black lives matter. Well, all lives matter. No, 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 no. Okay, if all lives matter, then you can right now admit to me that Black lives matter in that category of all lives matter, right? It shuts them up. See, sometimes you have to kind of fart really loud without really farting. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a joke that I with my cousin and I. But I digress. We'll get into that later. But so yeah, what is that? And what about blue lives? I thought you support blue lives. I thought you support them. I thought you support the police officers. Why are you intervening? Why are you coming in and acting like a vigilante or acting like you're helping the police? Why? I mean, if they're so great and they do such a great job and they can be impartial to whatever's going on, why are you there? I'm going to tell you why you're there. Because you're a racist pig. That's why you're there. If it was any other protest, your ass wouldn't be there. Your ass wouldn't be there. If there was any other protest going on in the world, whatever the cause may be, and especially if it was causing vandalism. I mean, look at sporting events in this country. Every single year, at least a half a dozen sporting events get out of control. Just recently here in Michigan, a Michigan State U of M game, ask your Trumplican friend if Kyle should have strapped on his AR-15, went to Michigan State U of M game, and started shooting people because they were vandalizing couches, cars, and buildings. What's the difference? I'm going to tell you what the difference is. It was a Black Lives Matter protest, and Kyle doesn't like that because he thinks all lives matter. Yeah, whatever. He doesn't think all lives matter. He just doesn't think Black lives matter. That's all, because he thinks they're thugs. And it's amazing how these people reflect, right? Everything they say about Black Lives Matter, they're just reflecting. They are deplorables. They need to look inside of themselves and say, wait a minute, I'm really the deplorable because I'm not supporting these folks. It's disgusting. So if you truly support the blue and if you truly believe they do a good job, stay out of their business. Let them do their work. That evening, that Shittenhouse drove all the way out there with his mother, who got a gun illegally, okay, was the only one that did the shooting. The only one. He's the only one that did the shooting. There was no cops there that shot anybody. No. So who is this 17-year-old to claim self-defense? Who is he? I don't know. Why didn't he let the cops handle it, right? Who asked him to come? Who asked him to come and protect this property? Who asked him to come to be a hero, as the Republicans like to call him? He's a hero. What a disgrace. And what an insult to firemen, police officers, our veterans, to call that thug a hero. What an insult. Because if that's heroism, oh my God, that's horrible. I have friends and family who served in the military. I have friends and family who suffer from their service in the military. They are heroes, not Kyle coming to a town where there was vandalism. Sure, there was vandalism. Of course there was. Yep. Yep. Okay. Does that justify coming in, provoking, and claiming self-defense and then shooting somebody? No. Never should have been there. It never should have been there in the first place. Now, let's talk about, Shittenhouse mother. What a deplorable, what a disgusting, filthy mother. I have 3 beautiful children. Beautiful children. I teach them how to communicate. I teach them how to be kind. I teach them how to be considerate. I teach them how to think on their own. I teach them how to think critically. But what does this mother do? Yep, go get the gun. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. What the hell is this? Where are we living? I mean, sometimes I look around. Where are we living? I'm confused. I'm legitimately confused on what parent would do that and think it's okay, and then have the nerve to say, "Well, if Kyle didn't have a gun, If Shittenhouse didn't have a gun, he'd be dead today. Guess what? If he didn't have a gun and he didn't show up, 2 people would be alive and one of them wouldn't be, having damage to their arm for the rest of their life. So give me a break. Your logic doesn't pan out, mother. Mother, and I put that in quotes, mother. You're not a mother. You're not a parent. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Sorry, I'm hitting my mic. So what's going on there, guys? Oh, hello. So yeah, you don't care about blue lives. You can give a rat's ass about them. You don't care. You just want to be a vigilante. You want to act cool. You want to think you're American and a patriot for stopping people from causing fires in dumpsters. Hey, where was Kyle on January 6th? Huh? Where was he? A bunch of white folks stormed into the Capitol with guns and ties, cable ties, and chanting, "Where are you, Pence?" and vandalizing everything and wreaking havoc. Where was our hero? Where was our hero, Shittenhouse? Where was he? I'll tell you where he was. He was probably home wishing he could be there. Yeah. Why? Well, because this was all about, white supremacy power and the government is out to get us and blah, overturn the election and Trump really won. I just saw a sign the other day in somebody's garage. Trump won. Yeah. This is where we live. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's funny because I look at what's going on between the two parties. And I try really hard to be a moderate. And I'm very proud to call myself a liberal. And I try really hard. And I know that sounds confusing, but I try really hard to understand the other side. It's like, okay, I get that. I mean, everyone wants to be a moderate. We wish we could all get along, be a moderate, understand both sides. But I can't even call myself a moderate. I have to call myself a liberal. I have to, because I don't understand them. I don't know what their policies are. Only thing I ever hear out of their mouth is criticism of the Democrats, criticism of the spending, which Donald Trump increased the deficit by $7 trillion. Didn't blink an eye. They're in line when it comes to tax cuts. But when it comes to social spending for infrastructure, how many times did we hear Donald Trump say, infrastructure week, infrastructure week, infrastructure week, infrastructure week, infrastructure week, infrastructure week? Healthcare is coming in 2 weeks. Nothing, zero. Donald Trump did one thing, and that was give the tax breaks to billionaires and multimillionaires and embolden racism. That's all he did. That's it. So I get confused on what the Republican Party stands for. They stand for guns. They stand for violence. They stand for Marjorie Taylor Greene. They stand for Lauren Boebert. I don't even. Every time I want to say her name, I want to vomit. And then on Twitter, Gosar with this violent Twitter. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and Google it. What do they stand for? It sounds like violence. That's it. And Kyle is their hero. And now some Republicans want to hire him. I tell you what, I got a 20-year-old son who would love to be hired by you. He's an outstanding citizen. And you'd rather hire an 18-year-old thug. Beautiful. Great messaging, parent. Great messaging. Wow. I tell you what, I wouldn't put it past it. See, there you go. A little stutter there, right? I would not put it past the Republicans to hire this deplorable, disgusting, filthy child. And you know what? Sometimes I actually feel bad saying that to him because he's 17. I've had 3 kids that were 17. Sometimes they don't always make good decisions, and they're very influenced by their parents and their orbit of people that they are around. Very influenced. I hope that this young man grows up to realize his faults and to realize he's hanging around the wrong people. Look at your 5 friends, okay? And that's who you are. That's who you are. Look around you. Look who you're hanging around. That's who you are. That's why I lost a lot of friends in the last 5 years, because I found out who they truly were in their heart. They're haters. So it just seems like the narrative is defend, look for trouble. If someone looks at you the wrong way or approaching you, kill, shoot them. Vigilantism is in. That's it. Let's go. Yep. We need more of these. We need more. That's what it seems like, right? They're proud of him. I mean, they're literally proud of him. Proud of him for what? By the way, I was having some technical difficulty with my camera. So if it sounds like it abruptly cut off, I apologize. And it starts up again. Sometimes when that happens, the editing might go off a little bit. But I apologize. I don't know what happened to my camera the last couple of times, but I got to take it in and have it checked out. Here we go. I digress. How are we doing out there? How are we doing out there, folks, in the TikTok world? How are we doing out there? Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining the, see, I almost said it. We got to talk, damn it. So, now I can't verify this, okay? Because I'm the kind of guy that doesn't believe everything I hear. However, I wouldn't put it past it. I actually know somebody who literally, well, I can't prove that either, but knowing who they are, I would say this was done on purpose, and that is purposely cause a problem with the house, whether a fire starting or a plumbing issue, so they can turn around and get insurance money. And apparently there's quite a few investigations going on with people deliberately vandalizing their own building and claiming that it was the Black Lives Matter protest. Anybody and everybody knows that 97% of these protests were absolutely peaceful. I wasn't not in one, but I went to one. I watched it happening. Very peaceful. No guns, no cable ties, no where are you? We're going to hang you. We're going to kill you. We're going to shoot you. Nothing. It was very peaceful. The police were there. The march went on. Very, very peaceful. 97% of them are peaceful. California, Washington, D.C., Grand Rapids, Michigan. They arrested several people who incited the violence at a Black Lives Matter protest, just like Donald Trump did when he went in front of the church, right? Peaceful protest. And what do? They shoot bullets and tear gas at a peaceful protest. And then they blame them for causing the violence. It's normal. It's normal for this party. That's what they like. They like violence. They don't like peace. They don't like progressiveness. They don't like moving forward. They don't want to take care of our schools. They don't want to take care of our roads, environment, nothing. All they want to do is raise the deficit, give tax cuts, and shoot and kill. That's what it seems like to me. That's what I've been witnessing for the last 4 or 5 years since Donald Trump entered this arena. And thank God he's gone, but he's still dangerous. Don't get too comfortable with Donald Trump being gone, because he's not gone. He's not gone until he's 6 feet under. So, and even then, he have his deplorables that are still going to worship him until the day they die, I guess. So, but I want to know where Kyle was, okay, or people like Shittenhouse. I want to know where they were with all these riots that happen at sporting events. Where are they? It even happens at high schools. Fights break out. People throw rocks at buildings and cars. Vancouver, in Montreal, here in the United States, happens all the time. Just recently in Michigan State and U of M game, I think I mentioned this earlier. The couches were set on fire. Cars were tipped over. Buildings were vandalized all over a game. Where's Shittenhouse? Where's Shittenhouse? But this is the message that's sent now. If this happens, then you have a right to go there with a gun, intimidate people. If that person reacts in a way where they're intimidated, then the person that has the gun can say, well, I felt threatened. He looked at me wrong and he approached me, so I guess I can shoot him. Breathe, Freddy. Breathe. Okay? But the reason why people won't show up to that when there's vandalism is because, why? Let's say it, because it's not black people that are protesting. That's it. If you're black, if you're Mexican, if you're Muslim, and you're peacefully protesting, get ready for some white folks to show their faces with guns. Get ready. They're coming. Why? Because they're racist pigs. That's why. That's why. It's not about the vandalism. It's not about the vandalism. They don't care about that. It's about, a non-white person is doing some damage. Let's go kill. Let's have some target practice. Yeah. I'm just speaking the truth. Let's put it this way. Roles reverse. Let's just assume Kyle I'm sorry, I keep forgetting his name, his new name, Shittenhouse. Let's just assume Shittenhouse, okay, was a Muslim and he had a turban on his head. Or let's assume he was a black person. And let's go one step further and let's say he was a Mexican. Or let's say he was an indigenous Indian, okay, an indigenous native to this country, okay. I don't know if that's the proper term to use anymore, so I do apologize. So, and they had a indigenous tribal outfit on, and he had an AK on. Let's just assume these four groups of people came there with their AK. How long do you think they'll be standing walking past a police officer? How long? 5 seconds? 2 seconds? 15 seconds? A minute? Yeah. He'd be gone. That person would be gone. Male, female, doesn't matter. If they have a different color skin, they are gone. Shot. Dead. There's a video out there of a black man walking down the street. Same scenario as a white man walking down the street. Done at different times of the different days, same time of day. And the white guy was just questioning, why are you walking around with this gun? Why? Well, and the guy said, well, it's open carry. I have a right. And then the black guy, well, of course, cops came out of the car, pointed the guns out, and, got his gun taken away and got handcuffed. Well, listen, it happens every day. People can deny it all they want that people of color, they can choose not to believe that people of color are treated differently. If they want to, whatever. Then they're listening to the wrong sources and they're not really doing their homework and their eyes are not open. They're in their little bubble. Nothing's happening to me. Nothing's happening to me. So why do I care? Why do I care? Because we're on this damn fucking earth together. That's why we should care. And if we don't care, this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen. More Shittenhouses are going to come out of the woodwork. That's why. I mean, American citizens are willing to fight American citizens over the color of their skin or because they don't like the way they're protesting. What the hell are we doing? Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. So I'm gonna give you I have absolutely nothing against guns. I think that everybody should carry. I think that everyone, especially nowadays, because there's batshit crazy out there and you don't know who you're going to encounter. However, it comes with an enormous amount of responsibility. It comes with enormous care. Okay, you have to take the right courses. You have to learn about it. You have to ask questions, and you have to listen to the letter of the law when it comes to carrying guns. Shittenhouse did everything the opposite way. And he was helped by his own mother and by somebody else who could legally buy a gun. Everything that was done in this process was done illegally. And then everything moving forward as well. Okay? Now, you're all here to listen to why I think he got acquitted. Just stand by. It's coming. It's coming. Stand by. I'm telling you, I think I nailed it. I really do. I think I nailed it. But let's get back to the guns, okay? It comes with an enormous amount of responsibility, okay? I have personally taken the courses. I've gone to shooting ranges. I ask questions. I want to learn about guns. I want to learn about the laws. I want to understand what my responsibility is. And actually, believe it or not, carrying a gun makes you very, very humble. It really does. You actually avoid even talking to somebody that could trigger somebody, that could lead to a fight, could lead to somebody, taking their gun out and shooting. So it comes with enormous amount of responsibility, okay? But you have to follow the law. There are places that you can bring it, places that you can't bring it. There are places you can travel over state lines. You can travel over state lines. You can't travel over. You got to understand the laws, okay? But these people just want to carry gun. Who cares? No laws. No. I saw a bumper sticker the other day that said "F gun control." I mean, I don't understand this logic. What do you just want to kill? I mean, look at all these other countries that don't have problems with guns. Why? because they're responsible, logical human beings. Don't need it. Don't need it. But average citizens in this country, yeah, this may sound sexist, and please don't come to me because it's not sexist, especially women, because rape is at an all-time high, and they have to protect themselves. They have to protect themselves. And if it means pulling out a gun and shooting that bastard between the eyes, hey, big difference between that and going to a riot where property's being destroyed, and then you feel threatened, and then you feel that you have the right to kill somebody because somebody looked at you the wrong way. Big difference. Okay? For example, I own what I consider a really nice car. It's a lower end Tesla. I love it. I love my car. If right now I heard somebody, beating it with a bat, I ran outside to look and go, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? I got somebody who would like to join. Give me a second. Give me a second, buddy. They went away. Okay, so I look at him. I go, "What are you doing, man? What you can't? What are you doing? I cannot legally shoot him for destroying my property. I can't. I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail. And if you understand the law, you'll have your gun taken away from you permanently. Permanently. You can't. I know somebody who owned a gun, and they almost choked their ex-wife, ex-wife now, of course, to death. He had all his guns taken away. Domestic violence. If you get accused of domestic violence, you're never owning a gun again. It's just not happening. Okay? And there's a reason for that. Because if you are a violent person, why are you owning a gun? Like Kyle, Shittenhouse, obviously violent. If you saw the videos of him, I wish I had my AR so I can shoot those people who are allegedly shoplifting at a CVS or beating that woman up, punching her in the face. This is not a good kid. He's a troubled kid. And again, I want to feel sorry for him because he's young, vulnerable, doesn't know better. It's the community that he's part of, and it's a shame because those people are deplorable and they're teaching him to be deplorable as well. Now, if I went outside not knowing what was going on and I just heard a bunch of noise and realized this guy's beating the hell out of my car, I could say, stop, what do you do? What are you doing? You go back in your house, you call 911, and that's it. If you don't have time to go back in your house because now he's attacking you with a bat, then you have every right to pull out that gun and shoot him because now your life is threatened. Okay? Simple. Let me give you another example. Here, actually, in Michigan, just a couple years ago, there was a guy at a stoplight. Apparently, there was some road rage going on. I don't know the details of that, but apparently the guy that did the shooting walked because none of it was his fault. So apparently there was some road rage. Some people just get upset over the littlest things, right? So one guy was pissed. He's screaming. He's yelling. And he gets out of the car, and the other guy who was in his car with his wife and kids couldn't go anywhere because someone said, well, in the law, if you can remove yourself from the situation, you should before you shoot. And that's true. Remove yourself from that situation before you shoot. If you have no other choice, then you can shoot and defend yourself, defend your family, etc. Okay? So the guy in car A, let's say, got out of his car and started yelling and screaming at car B with him and his family in there. And he started banging on the glass to the point where it broke, and then he started reaching in to grab the guy. Well, the guy had his gun in his center console. What did he do? He popped it out and shot it. Someone said, why didn't he just take off? Because there was a car in front of him, car behind him, and it was at a red light. The cop said, sir, you were justified. Have a nice day. End of story. That's it. So I went a little further and did some homework. I don't know if the law changed on this, but I doubt it, that if you see somebody being beaten up, or say a woman is being raped, or a fight breaks out and some guy is just being pummeled and he's not moving and the guy keeps beating on, yeah, you can shoot him to protect that guy from, or protect that woman from being raped, that guy from being killed, if he's not already dead. You can. That's my understanding of the law. Okay? So owning a gun, let's see. Hey guys, how you doing? You still going to do this, bro? I don't know what that means. But anyway, I'm sorry because I'm doing the podcast and I'll come back to you guys. I promise. But thanks for coming. So owning a gun comes with an enormous amount of responsibility, enormous amount. And this was absolutely not displayed with the Shittenhouse trial Absolutely. No regard whatsoever. No regard. Because I tell you, he's 18 now. He can legally own a gun. When he's 21, he's going to walk around with his hand, with his pistol by his side and everything. So it comes with enormous amount of responsibility. Let me give you one more example of why I don't think Kyle, I know that Kyle did not act in self-defense. Okay. It's just, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let me give you another analogy. I'm going to use me as an example. Let's say myself and my girlfriend will walk into a restaurant, and we don't go to the bar because let's say I'm carrying, okay? Because you're not allowed to go to the bar. You're not even allowed to consume alcohol. You have to have 0 alcohol in your body when you're carrying a gun. Because if you get busted with any alcohol in your body, well, the prosecution is going to have a field day with that and say, well, did you provoke this? Were you drunk? What'd you say? They're going to have a field day with it. And then, of course, no matter what happens, you're going to have your gun taken away from you. So, but let's just, for the sake of arguing, I walk in and my girl sits down and, we're chatting. I say, honey, I'll be right back. I go to the bathroom. I got my glass of water there. She's got, her drink there, whatever it might be. I come back and there's this guy flirting with my girlfriend. And I come and, with a little bit of an attitude maybe, I say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? He goes, I'm just talking to her. I say, yeah, well, she's with me. Yeah, and the guy goes, so what? That's cool. I'm just talking to her. I said, dude, do you mind? Can I? And he looks at me, he goes, dude, what's your problem, man? Chill out. I said, no, you chill out. Can you please move? And I put my hand up and I actually touch him to beat it. And he slaps my hand away. Okay? And then I push him back. He pushed me back and a fight starts. Oh, fuck, I feel threatened. I pull out my gun. Who's to blame? Anybody out there? Who's to blame? Me. I provoked it. I was very frustrated. I touched him first. Maybe he felt threatened. That's why he pushed my hand away. Then I'm thinking in my head, well, I feel threatened. He touched me. And then it escalates. But take it from the beginning. Who started this mess? I could have sat down. Hey, buddy, how you doing? What's your name? Oh, great. How you doing, man? Hey, listen, have a great evening and enjoy your food. See? De-escalation. This is what the cops need to learn more of, how to de-escalate a situation. Shittenhouse escalated it. He did not de-escalate anything. He didn't come there to save anybody. He was the only one that fired. He was the only one that killed somebody. So you all have a great Thanksgiving too. All right. So give me a break. Learn about guns. We need gun control. Guns are not going anywhere. This narrative that the Republicans keep pumping, they're going to take your guns away. They're not going to take your guns away. It's never going to happen. Not in this country. Cold day in hell. Not in my lifetime. And quite frankly, I hope it doesn't happen yet. If it does, I hope it doesn't, because it is dangerous out there. And I think if you're responsible, gun ownership is a great thing as long as you're responsible, you use it right, you take the proper courses, and you learn how to defend yourself. And you also learn, I have a great friend who is just at the top of the food chain when it comes to gun safety, gun ownership, teaches classes, does Krav Maga. Awesome. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to have him on the show. I ask him a lot of questions about guns and rights and all that stuff. He's just so phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. And he's spot on with everything. He doesn't let an ideology get in his way. He talks common sense about gun laws and just forget about gun laws. Let's forget about it. Isn't there a little bit of common sense that should kick in that you shouldn't be strapping on an AR-15 and walking into a crowd of protesters who are already frustrated with our government, frustrated with how police are treated? Click, 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 click. Let's go. Common sense here, right? Common sense. So, hey guys, thank you for everything. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Looking at my notes here, making sure I'm not skipping anything because I go, okay. So yeah, you can't kill over property and you can't claim self-defense if you are the one that's provoking the situation. So, yeah, that's that. Any questions out there? Oh, wow. Sent the gift. Thank you for the gift. I like it. Well, you guys are awesome. 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 Okay. Back to Shittenhouse. So yeah, if this was any other march, He wouldn't have been there. Even if, like I said, look at the sporting events that happen in this country. Every time somebody wins a Stanley Cup somewhere, or a World Series, or World Cup, or whatever it might be, it's inevitable. We see it all the time. Riots break out, things get destroyed. According to what happened recently, I guess we have a right to strap on our AR-15 and go out there and start protecting property. And if somebody looks at you wrong or approaches you, I guess we could shoot them. Okay. Okay. I think that the prosecution did a good job. I mean, the defense did what the defense is supposed to do, I guess. I mean, I wasn't persuaded. I watched a lot of it and a lot of clips as well. The judge was absolutely not impartial. Okay, but again, it's not the judge's fault that he got acquitted. I'm sorry, guys. The judge is a complete asshole. He absolutely made it clear who he supported, what side of the fence he's on politically, his ideologies, no question about it. But I don't think the judge had anything to do with the outcome of this, and the defense had absolutely nothing to do with it as well, because it wasn't like they did such a great job of, creating reasonable doubt that the jury came out. No, I'm not buying it. And the prosecution, I thought the prosecution did a stellar job, but it wasn't because the prosecution did a stellar job that would have persuaded the jury to vote another way. Does that make sense? Because it doesn't matter. The prosecution could have had even more evidence and more proof that it wasn't self-defense. The jury still would have came back with this verdict. And I'm going to tell you why. Let me go over a few more things, and then we'll wrap this up, okay? I usually don't go this long on a podcast because I get tired. I'm old. Okay. I'm an attorney, and I like to have a live person. I'm an attorney, and I'd like to have a live person. Can you explain that? You want to come on live with me? I would love to have you come on live with me. But wait until I'm done with this podcast, and then we'll talk that. We'll talk about it. So you have a great Thanksgiving as well. All right, back to this. So, let's say this was a women's march, and let's just say it got out of hand, and I don't know, some women went a little nuts, let's say, and just a peaceful protest turned into a couple of people got angry, and some buildings were, vandalized. Well, I guess we have a right to go there and protect that property, even though nobody asked me to come. Okay, I'm not law enforcement. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see here what we got here. All right. So what happened? I'm going to tell you what happened. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Okay. All right. Here's what happened. So everybody wants to blame. They want to say that the defense did a great job. They want to say the prosecution didn't do such a great job. They want to say that it was because of the judge, because he wasn't impartial. The odds were in Shittenhouse's favor when it came to the jury. And here's why. I always thought to myself, I was questioned to be on jury duty at one time, and I got dismissed. I can't remember why. It was such a long time ago. I mean, we're talking 30 plus years ago. They asked me a particular question. I answered it, and they decided that I wouldn't be a good candidate to be on the jury, right? Now listen to what I just said. They determined that I wouldn't be a good candidate to be in the jury, right? So I got eliminated from the jury pool, right? What happens if I found out, I heard about this particular case? Let's talk about the Shittenhouse case, okay? Let's for a second say that I'm one of those crazy, whacked out Republicans that thinks he's a hero, okay? That's my boy. He's a hero. And let's just say I'm not a social media guy, so I don't put my views or my opinions on social media or anything like that, right? All I have are my friends, my sphere of influence, my little orbit of people who think the same way. Kyle Shittenhouse is a hero, okay? All right. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but what a disgrace this is. I believe I did, but I'm going to say it again. Every time I say the word hero, and Shittenhouse, I cringe because I have friends, I have family who fought in wars, World War I, World War II. These are the heroes. And to put him in the same category as these people, even police officers, I respect police officers, 100%. I actually helped police in my town here investigate a hit and run because of my ring cam. I have nothing against police officers. Yes, there are bad police officers out there, absolutely. Okay, but for the most part, let's face it. I'm going to say it. They are good. They're here to protect. Are there assholes out there? Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. Okay, but to put Shittenhouse in the same category as these brave men and women from our military to police officers to firefighters is an absolute disgrace, and it really diminishes the heroism of these folks that fought in the military who go into buildings, burning buildings. It just disintegrates it, right? It just does. It's horrible. He's not a hero. He's a vigilante piece of shit. That's what he is. Okay? Can I get an amen? All right. So, back to the example. I'm not on social media. I did hear about the case, and I went, yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy. And then I get picked for jury duty. I don't know what's involved. Maybe they do a background check on me. Maybe they try to search my social media to see where I stand on certain political issues. But they can't because I never had. I don't have a social media. See? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I can go into that courtroom and they can look at me and say, what do you know about the Kyle Rittenhouse case? I got to say Rittenhouse because they're not going to say Shittenhouse, even though he's a Shittenhouse. I could say, well, I don't know. I heard that, a kid came into, to a Black Lives Matter protest. I heard there were some shootings. I don't know a lot about it. I really don't know a lot about it. And how do you feel about somebody defending themselves if they were provoked or being sought after? I'm like, well, look, I mean, you got to protect your life. Everyone has a right to protect themselves. And inside my head, I'm thinking I know everything about this case, everything. So here it is. Hear me out. And every time I say this, I go, this makes sense. 12 jurors are in there. All it took was one to fool the judicial system into thinking that they can be impartial. I think it happened. I think that's exactly what happened. One juror said, I'm going to screw the judicial system over because I believe in Shittenhouse. Well, he's going to say Rittenhouse. I believe in Shittenhouse. It's that simple, folks. Yes, I made you wait, 40 minutes for that. What do you think? Am I off here? Is it? Tell me, maybe Fred. No, that's impossible. That could never happen. The system is set up in such a way where they're gonna, weed those kind of people out. I don't think so. I mean, people go to jury duty all the time and they tell the truth, about their stance on certain things, and they get eliminated, right? And some people will actually say something that may not necessarily be true, so they don't have to serve on jury duty. So why not the opposite? They don't divulge any information, so they can go on jury duty, so they can get this guy off. Okay? Sorry. That's what happens. I think the jury, there was somebody infiltrated it by lying, by telling the lawyers what they wanted to hear, so they can get up there and just listen to it and get free food and lunches and whatever they want. What did the judge say? Asian food. The Asian food is coming. Okay. So yeah. So that's it. Now we got the Aubrey case. God, I hope the judge. I love the judge on that case. Boy, he's really giving it to him. The defense, good. But I don't want this case should be an open and shut case. I mean, I can't see how the jury can come back and find these three white folks innocent. There is a black man jogging, minding his own business. It doesn't appear to be running away from anything. He's just jogging, and all of a sudden he gets shot. And they're claiming self-defense, citizen's arrest. You see what I mean? You see what's going on here? I'm going to quote something that Van Jones said on on a talk show one time recently. And he's spot on. I can't take credit for it, but he's spot on. The these white folks feel so emboldened that they could take the law in their own hands, right? These three white folks that killed Aubrey, why didn't they just say, follow him? Everyone has cell phones. Call the police. Say there's somebody running. I think he vandalized something because we've been having a lot. You can't even say I think. You got to have probable cause. Even a police officer has to have probable cause to pull you over. You can't just look at someone. Well, we had a lot of break-ins in the last few weeks. It might be him. You can't do that. You just can't do that. You can't make a citizen's arrest based on speculation. You just can't. Okay? All right. I'm just getting sick and tired of all these people defending the poor white boy. It's weird knowing what people of color have gone through in this country, even till today. Okay, how all of a sudden we're feeling sorry for Rittenhouse and he's a hero. How all of a sudden we're feeling sorry for these three white men who thought they were doing the right thing and making a citizen's arrest. No, I don't feel sorry for them at all. You can't kill over property. You can't kill because somebody looks suspicious. You just can't. You know, I've been told all my life that I look angry. I don't know why. So I guess my regular face, if I'm just chilling, I guess I look angry. I was told I look angry several times. Does that give a police officer a right to pull me over? Well, you look suspicious. You look all funny, like you're up to something. What? That calls for the operation of my mind. I stole that from Judge Judy. Okay, you can't assume what somebody's thinking. You just can't. So, but I'm hoping. I want to make this prediction. I hope it comes true. I hope that somewhere along the line, this young man who fell off the rails, not necessarily from his own doing, because he had friends and family around him that influenced him to be the person that he is today, because you absolutely are the product of your environment. You are. But I hope he grows up and comes to terms with what he did and actually asks for forgiveness. Because I have 3 kids. I have 3 children that were 17 at one time, and I can't even go there as a parent to raise a kid like that and be okay with it. I just, over what? Over what? Because you're racist? I guess that's a strong enough feeling for you to move forward with something like that. I guess. I don't know, but it's such a cockamamie thought process. It's ugly. It's nasty. It's gut wrenching, and it's sewage, right? There's no love involved. I read this great book. There's 2 emotions: love and fear. Every other emotion below that is just a product of love and fear. What love is coming out of Shittenhouse? What love is coming out of his mother to allow their kid to do something like this or to be part of it? It's mind-boggling to me. Okay. So I guess there's a quote here that I saw somebody say. So see if I understand this correctly. Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm going to call him Shittenhouse, is a hero for shooting rioters. Ashley Babbitt should not have been shot for rioting. So Kyle, it's okay for Kyle Rittenhouse. He's a hero for shooting rioters, okay? But Ashley Babbitt shouldn't have been shot for rioting. I mean, the mental gymnastics that the Republican Party plays, again, what do they stand for? I don't know what they stand for. I don't know. Just hate. They're filled with hate. They're just filled with hate. Okay. I'm going to do a couple quotes here that I absolutely love. One of them was from Van Jones, and one of them was Trevor Noah, and then we will wrap this up. Okay? The idea of white vigilante violence is something that we have to wrestle with. It may not be done in one single court case, but we've got a pattern now where white men feel they have the right to enforce the law. This is what seems like that's happening. This is exactly what's going on in this country. They feel like they can, January 6th, it's up to them. They're enforcing the law. They want to do whatever they want to do, right? Law and order. I thought they were law and order people. Law and order. This doesn't look like law and order to me. Okay. Trayvon Martin. Here we go again. White boy, taking his, law into his own hands. And the three white deplorables for killing Aubrey. I mean, it's an ongoing trend, and it sucks. It has to come to an end. This is from Trevor Noah. Nobody drives into a city with a gun because they love someone else's business that much. That's some bullshit. I love him. No one has ever thought. I'm sorry. You know what? I tried to write this down through my voice to text on my computer, but it looks like it came out like crap. So basically, what he's saying is nobody in their right mind says drives with a gun because they love somebody's property that much. Okay. I was trying to read it verbatim, but even when I was reading Van Jones's, sometimes I click the microphone and it usually comes out pretty good, but this was a long one. That's probably why it came out a little messed up. So I apologize for that. So, but yeah, basically, who does that, right? Who does that? Who says, I'm going to travel, over 30 minutes to go protect the TJ Maxx? That's some serious bullshit right there. He went there to go kill some people. He's on tape saying, I wish I had my AR. I could kill those people for allegedly stealing some stuff out of a CVS. He actually beat a teenage girl. I saw it. It's on video. But they wouldn't let that in the court. Okay? But they certainly they didn't want to let his past into court because it might influence the jury, right? Well, no, not really, because it only takes one. And it doesn't matter what was presented. It only takes one of the 12 juries to go, that's my boy. The odds were stacked against the prosecution from the get-go. Right when that jury was picked, right? I didn't know it off the bat. I had hope. I said, this is a good process that's going on here. It's going to work out. We have a great judicial system, and it failed. And I know why. Because it doesn't take much to fool a jury or to fool the courts into thinking that you can be impartial. They can ask all the questions they want. You get somebody good, I guarantee they're going to be able to fool them that they can be impartial. Because the judge certainly was not impartial. Absolutely not. We know that. But that didn't influence the outcome. I'm sorry. It just didn't. It was the jury, and I guarantee you there was somebody in that jury that knew from the get-go, before the case even started, that they were going to say, not guilty. This is my hero. He needs to be acquitted. That's how I do. Should have ran the ball. What are you talking about? Anyway, folks, let me know if you think I'm wrong on this one. I really want to know. But maybe I don't know a lot about the judicial system. Maybe it's almost impossible to fool the courts that you can be impartial. I don't know. I just sit here going, I don't know anything about this case. Well, how do you feel about, guns and stuff like that? I don't know. I mean, if you want to own a gun, you can own a gun. I mean, it's the United States of America, First, Second Amendment right, and First Amendment freedom of speech. I mean, I'm not a gun nut by any stretch of the imagination, but people have a right to protect themselves. I mean, you see that it just seems easy to come off like you can be impartial. It does, but we all know that that out of 12 people, one of them, I believe, was able to fool the judicial system when it came to this case. Let me know if I'm wrong. All right, folks, that's it. Send me your emails if you agree, disagree, or you want to come on the show and elaborate it some more. I'd be more than happy to have you on the show. Just email me at Freddy, Freddy, Freddy at Wgtd, DAMMIT, and I'll respond ASAP to you. And we'll get you on the show either through Zoom. If you're local in the Detroit metropolitan area, I'm more than happy to come into the studio and we could talk about it then. So this podcast is not always political. When the Freddy Mak show was around, it was very political. Trying to get away from it, but you guys keep pulling me in. You keep pulling me in. So I like to talk about everything, man. I mean, everything. Dating, religion, Tesla. Does rideshare work? I've done rideshare. I've done all these delivery services. Do they work? Can you make money? Some of them I still do. I'm going to pass that knowledge on to you and how to make money using your car. Is Tesla a good investment? Is it one of the best electrical cars out there? We're going to talk about that. So I did a podcast on what is love, and we're going to follow through with that with more podcasts on relationships, why marriages fail, why they succeed, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not always going to be political for Freddy Mak here, because Freddy Mak, I don't know. Politics gives me a headache. Gives me a big, big headache. So, all right, folks, that's it for today. Thank you very much. I was just looking at my gains. Holy cow, I hope this didn't come out too loud. But thanks for listening. Again, shoot me an email at Freddy, Freddy, Freddy at Wgtd.com. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to have you on the show. And yeah, just keep having hope. Keep fighting the fight. Don't let it overwhelm you. Enjoy your life, but stand for what you think is right. And, ask, real quick, before I go, any of your friends who think that, Kyle should have got acquitted, because I asked a buddy of mine this question today, because I could tell his tone. Well, the law's the law and blah, blah, blah. And then I said, you know what? I want to ask you a question. And I promise you, I have a tendency of doing this. I say I'm going to end it, and I keep going on. I promise you this will be the last thing. Ask your friends who believe that Kyle should have got acquitted and they're happy with it. Ask them this question and tell them you want a yes or no answer, no explanation, no, oh, my kid would never do that. My son would never do, my daughter would never do that. No, I don't have any friends that would do it. My wife would never do that. My spouse would never do that. That calls for the operation of their brain. Okay? You don't know that. So let's just say, ask them straight out, yes or no. Your child who grew up to be a liberal, and maybe you didn't like it, maybe you were okay with it, I don't know. Let's just assume she decided that she was going to go to a BLM protest. Okay? And let's just say she unfortunately got in a mix of people that were vandalizing property, or say a deplorable like Shittenhouse came around and bumped into her, and she said, hey man, what are you doing? That guy's got a gun. That guy's got a gun. And then Shittenhouse felt threatened, turned around and shot her because he thought she was coming after him, and shot her. So let's put it this way. The exact same scenario. Your daughter, your son, your spouse, whoever it may be, exact same scenario as the two people that got killed. The exact same scenario happened to one of your loved ones. Would you say, well, I'm sorry that they died, but, Shittenhouse was acting in self-defense, so I guess it is what it is. Would you feel the same way? Dig down deep inside with them. Say, no, you're starting to explain now. I'm telling you, put your son, your daughter, your loved one in the exact same position as one of the victims, okay, that got shot 4 times by Kyle. Okay, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now real quick. But exact same scenario. Would you be okay that the jury came back and said he acted in self-defense? Well, he started explaining. The guy started explaining. Well, you're not telling the whole story. No. The whole story, everything identical. Everything is identical. The distance. Your daughter is there instead of that guy. Your daughter instead of the victim. Your daughter, no difference. We're not changing the rules. We're not changing the timeline. We're not changing how many steps. We're not changing the feet. We're not changing the verbiage. We're not changing anything. Everything is identical 100%. Would you still feel like that Shittenhouse acted in self-defense? And I guarantee nobody's going to answer that question yes. Guarantee it. All right, folks. Thank you so much for listening. One more time, all you got to do is Google We Gotta Talk, damn it. It's GOTTA, We Gotta Talk, damn it. And it'll pop up, whatever you want. You can email me, Facebook, YouTube, and then, of course, 7 different podcast platforms that We Gotta Talk is on. So, all right, folks, thank you very much. And remember, we gotta talk, damn it. Peace out. Thank you for listening to We Gotta Talk, damn it. For more information on the show, please go to www.wegottotalkdammit.com. Thanks for listening.